I think what the program did best is that for someone who is kind of swerving into choosing medicine later than maybe some candidates might, it did a really good job of allowing me to get that experience of what medical school is, but more importantly, also show in my application that might have not been geared towards medical school at the start of my undergrad, that not only am I serious about becoming a doctor, and not only am I serious about putting in the work that it takes for medical school, but more importantly, it shows concretely that I have the capacity to do so. Even if I didn't, may have had it in my application with the school, the courses I took as an undergrad, they weren't necessarily structured towards that. And so I think the SMP really did a fantastic job of demonstrating that in no uncertain terms, more so than maybe a post-bac at even my alma mater or community college. This really said medical school, these are the courses. And then, of course, the people that were at the program were fantastic mentors and teachers. I think probably one thing that was the part of the hidden curriculum when applying to things is because my parents aren't doctors. One of the hidden curriculum things is that you don't know how to apply to medical school. My parents went to undergrad, so they were able to kind of coax me into how to apply, how to structure things, and how to do things. And I took that, and I think many people take that for granted when they're applying and they're not first generation. But for medical school, I was a first generation. So I think having people who are not only familiar with the process, but whose job it is, in addition to doing your academic coursework, having them be able to say, hey, you need to apply in this certain way, or you need to structure your words this way. I remember I wrote a letter, my personal statement, and I sent it over to the undergrad office, and they're like, oh, it was great. Sent it to another one. Oh, it's great. Sent it to a few people. It's like, all right, grammar can change here and here. And then I know I sent mine to Dr. Lorenz, who's in charge of the program. He's like, this is terrible. This is awful. Everything about this needs to change. And in hindsight, on being the other half, I've served on medical school admission committees and being on the other side, yeah, it was terrible. It was the first draft of the essay was not ready to go.